What's up? What's up? This is Adri,
And Alyssa,
and you're listening to
Chat in the Hat.
Happy New Year. We're January 5th, 5 days into the new year now.
Wow.
I know.
Coming into the new year, sorry to interrupt you, but I just thought this is a weird way for me to start it. I was blow drying my hair in the bathroom today, and I do this thing where I like brush the front like side to side with the blow dry so your hair doesn't like form right down the middle, right? And the way the light glistened on my head, I thought I had my first gray hair, and it hit me harder than I was expecting, because I keep thinking like I'm going to just age gracefully. And I've recently grown all my dyed hair out. So it's like 100% natural hair color. And when I thought I had that gray hair, I was more mortified than I expected myself to be. And I was literally so close to the mirror examining, like, where did it go?
Oh, no. You had a rough New Year's Eve?
Crisis. No, I actually didn't. I was asleep by 9:30 on New Year's Eve. Yeah, crisis averted. No gray hairs yet. Thank the Lord. But I was like, no way I'm starting this new year off with gray hair. That is just not going down.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't have any, thank God.
I have about 20.
Josh
20?
20.
The baby has 20.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them.
Winning.
I feel like men always age faster than women, which is such a crazy concept to me, because for a lot of men, I feel like they get better over time. And same is true for women, but there are some women who definitely do not get better over time. But men tend to get their gray hairs faster, I've noticed. At least just my observation.
Yeah.
But anyways, did you have a good New Year? Was it fun?
Yeah,
it was worth gray hair?
Honestly, we were like, should we just make like a nice dinner? So Maddie and I made a nice dinner. It was me, Matt, and Jameson home. So we did that, and we watched Marky Mark's new movie on Apple Plus or Apple TV, whatever it's called. Family Plan, which it was a typical Mark Wahlberg movie. But I loved it because I love Marky Mark. And honestly, I was asleep at 9:30. Matt set an alarm. I heard him just go, "Hey Siri, set alarm for 11:55 p.m." And then it's like, "Hey Siri, set alarm for 11:59 p.m." So then like at 11:59, he's just like, "Alyssa, it's almost the new year." And I opened my eye, like one eye open, looked at the TV, and it was like a 45-second countdown. And I watched it, and then I'm like, "Happy New Year." I rolled over and went right back to sleep. No New Year's kiss, nothing. I'm like, leave me alone. I'm tired.
Funny.
But yeah, how was yours?
It was fun. It was interesting. I went to this event.
The Fruit.
I did. I went to the Fruit, which for the listeners is this venue in Durham. It's like an art and music venue, but very kind of like grungy underground vibes. And I didn't know what the event was. I just thought it sounded fun because it had 3 rooms, different music, all kinds of things. I didn't realize, not that I care, but it was like largely LGBTQ. So there was a lot of like drag queens, and I just stuck out. Like I felt like out of place. Like I was not as flamboyant as everybody else. I just was like, had I known, I would have worn like rainbow or something. But I like just was very subdued, a little more dressy, and like, yeah. But it was fun.
Missed the memo.
Yeah. But it was fun. I had an interesting interaction with fella. I say fella. I say fella jokingly because he was dressed as a woman, like he was presented as a woman. So I said she, her, and complimented her, saying you're beautiful. And he was like, my pronouns are he, him. And I'm like, God. Now you're just fucking with us, all right? Like I'm trying to do it right. And I'm like, how am I supposed to know that shit? He's like, well, you have to ask.
It's so hard.
I'm like, why do we have to ask? Like, if you're presenting a certain way, then I feel like that's obviously what you're trying to put out there. So that's just common sense to me. Like, you're putting out there this persona or whatever, your gender, however you want to say it. And so if we identify you as that, isn't that what you wanted? I'm so
I know.
confused.
I feel like maybe this is a
Like
topic
the
for
Twilight
the hat.
Zone. It's in the hat for sure. I will
Okay,
tell
so
you that
we'll hold thoughts there.
on that
We
topic.
probably
Yeah.
now on that note, let's actually get into a
What are we
drawing.
going to talk about? I think you're up,
I
Alyssa.
think it's me. All
Yep.
right. I even added some new ones the last couple of days. That's one thing I've been very nervous about. Like, I'm gonna run out of topics, and then random shit just presents itself, and you're like, everything's like, put it in the hat. All right,
That's my list.
Okay. Oh, this feels like a new one because it has soft edges. That means I cut it this morning.
Oh,
Oh, I did. See, it's perfect.
nice.
Okay, so this one actually can apply to all of us, because you're both. Well, Josh has a dog. You're now a new dog owner, even though you've had one previously. You haven't had one in a while. Okay, so this topic is dogs in the bed.
Oh, this is
Four
a good topic. A good topic.
A good dog pick.
Dog pick.
This is a good dog pick. Okay, so
I love it.
I guess since it's mine, I will start. But
Yep,
I already know some of these cons are like the for and against. I will agree, and I will say yes. If you have a how do they say, hypoallergenic dog? Like, I'm a little bit more leaning to it being okay. However, I have a husky, so I'll just speak from my personal experience. No, absolutely not. No dogs in the bed. Okay.
I get it.
I mean, and not, okay, even if you have a hypoallergenic dog, I fucking know none of you people listening that are dog owners bathe your dog every day. No one bathes their dog every day. So if you have any sort of yard and your dog, like mine, likes to go outside and sunbathe, as cute as it is, you don't bathe them after. They're coming in, laying in your bed, and now you have all of it's like you might as well have just rolled around in the dirt and just gone to sleep that night.
Yep.
So I'm a big no. I have more to say about it, but I do want to hear from you if you are a yay or a nay on the dog in the bed.
So I actually agree with you that so part of my rationale, and I'm a nay, or I used to be a nay until I got my dog, because he's little and he's so cute, and I do not like pets in the bed. I don't like laying in their dander. And I always think in my head, like, okay, I just watched you shit in the yard. Or I have cats too, by the way. So this kind of applies to cats. It's hard because you can't keep cats. They just keep doing it. They don't learn like dogs do. And my cats always jump up on the bed with me, and they're so cute and so cuddly. But Bruno, my one cat, is always outside rolling around on the ground. Like, that's what he does all day. And so it's always in my head and it drives me crazy, but I don't know how to stop it. And I love them. So I'm like stuck between.
Maybe with the cats though, aren't cats like, don't they self-groom? Like, dogs don't really self-groom. So maybe, even though I think that's gross too, because now they just have their like spit, but fucking nature, whatever. So like the cats, I'm actually even not so much against, but it's the dogs, like, and the hair.
Yeah, the hair
is awful. Like, and I just feel like this creature, similarly, and this could be another side topic, co-sleeping, but personally, it's like this creature, just like your children, they're already invading every other aspect of your life. So for the love of God, you are not going to sleep in my bed. It's the last space I have that is mine and solely mine. And my dog loves my bed, and Matt is like a pro dog in the bed person. So it's been for a period of time. It was like, okay, well, then you need to share your 50% because I'm not giving up my space and quality of sleep And so he has like sciatica problems and like all these back problems because he like contorts his body around the dog. But now I've like had to put like a hard, like, not even if he's on your side of the bed. It's just the dog is not in the bed anymore. Like I can't with the dirt and the hair.
I know. It does gross me out. But I will say the one thing that I am really good at, and I really like clean sheets. So I change my sheets every week. So and the other thing is I have a really bad habit of I don't even sleep on my sheets. I sleep on top of my comforter and everything. And then I put a blanket over my comforter as like the barrier between because I don't want my sheets and my comforter to get dirty.
Well, I had a joke, but I was like trying to be an active listener. So my joke was when you were like, I sleep on top, and I was like, oh, and you just cover with your clothes.
Yes. No, not anymore. Those days are behind me. But
I know.
That's why I have chairs.
Girl now.
I have extra furniture for that.
I have 3 Chase lounges in my room,
AKA my closet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know why. I love a clean bed. I like clean sheets. I actually just made it last night and I love it. And so the first time you lay in it, it's great, but then I want to like protect it at all costs. So I have like a blanket that I put over it. And I usually just don't like to be all covered up and twisted in the blankets. So I usually have one little blanket that I cover with and that's it. So anyways, I digress. I am against having pets in the bed, but they still end up in my bed.
Yeah.
And I don't have the heart.
It's hard when they're small.
I know.
When they're small, you're like, sure, you're not taking up any room. Just cuddle up right here under my arm.
I know. And Hank, my new dog, is so dang cute. And he's still adjusting to the transition. I've only had him a week, so I'm being extra nice. But I had to actually pick him up in the middle of the night last night, which is why I'm so tired and I haven't slept well, is I gave him this bone. I made pho and it was a beef bone and it had like stuff. Anyways, he's chewing on it in the middle of the night and I can hear like and his teeth clanking on the bone and it like woke me up and I took the bone and I threw it in his kennel and he went and got it and came back on my bed. So I literally hid the bone and then moved him to the floor and he stayed down there. So he took the hint, I guess, but I was get away.
Go away.
And now I have to lock my cats out of the room because they literally will just like dart across the bed and jump on my face or like paw at me. They don't give a fuck. They're like, wake up, feed me. Cats are
like
ruthless.
Little cat ninjas.
They are. So I now lock them out.
Scratching your face. All right, good.
Oh, geez.
Oh, Lord.
So this topic is probably a subtopic of a larger topic that I am fascinated by in general, which is like marriage, divorce, dating. But anyways, this topic is the divorce rates and the causes. And then as like a subtopic to that is how do we feel about sleeping in separate bedrooms to extend the longevity of relationship?
Okay. I actually love this, and I'll let you go first since it's your pool.
Okay.
But it has been something that has recently been discussed. So go ahead. I can't wait to chime.
So I'm gonna start with like the easy one, and that's the separate bedrooms. And Josh is gonna have to weigh in because I know he has experience with this. But I personally, like, as I've gotten older, have wondered if I actually want to get married or not, because there's just obviously divorce rates are high and that is a worry. But more than anything, I really like the ability to have space and like it's great to live with a partner, but I think I would want to have my own bedroom, if for nothing else, like a place I can go dress up or play with my makeup or do whatever I want to do and be a girl. and have privacy, even if we slept in the same bed at night or take turns in different beds, or maybe we just want to like have an alone night. I like to be alone. And so I truly believe that that could be the answer to saving marriage is people should have their own rooms that they can, not a man cave. I'm talking about
Right.
like
No,
a
I know,
bedroom.
bedrooms.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
man cave I feel like gives the man a place to escape. And if you have to escape all the time, then that feels like problematic. You should be able to have like a sanctuary where you can go relax or whatever. But man caves, I feel like just allow the men to escape and stay down there as long as possible. I know when I was dating with my kid's dad, he was down there all day, every day, and it was a problem because it's like, oh, it's my man cave. Well, I don't have a place to go other than
well,
the
I
bedroom.
don't have a cave. I have the
Yeah.
house with 2 children.
So if I don't get a cave, you don't get a cave. But we can each have our own bedrooms.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's my feeling on that. I am pro separate bedrooms, and you can like fart in private. We talked about farting before, right? So I think it would be nice.
May or may not air. That may or may not air due to sound issues, but
Oh,
I guess
well,
we'll see.
I think that that's a good reason to have one too, so you can go do your business. But I toot it up. So divorce rates. This is always fascinating to me. So divorce rates are about 50% for first-time marriages. It goes up for second and up exponentially to 80% divorce rates for third marriages and more. So actually, the more you get married, the more likely you are to get divorced, which I think is kind of fascinating because there's a lot of that adage when people get married of third time's a charm, or they make light of it. And it's like, but is it really? Or do you just get married too easily? Like, marriage is kind of a big deal, and it's something that people should take seriously. And you don't just like propose and get married because your oxytocin levels are high because you've been getting laid all the time. Like, you need to have more of a plan as to why you're genuinely marrying these people and if they're really a good fit. And I think part of the reason we have such high divorce rates is because we've sort of glamorized marriage as like a thing to do. It's picture worthy. It gets you followers, likes, and people do it for like the attention and the parties. And also there's like this pressure that you have to, if you want to have kids and do these things. But I feel like sometimes people get married for the wrong reasons and they don't truly understand what their values are or what they want from a partner and put the work in to keep it lasting. And both people have to be willing to do the work every day. Like, every day it's a choice. And we just have made divorce too easy. It's no longer, you don't have to put in the work because you can just get a divorce and then you get married again and it's like no big deal. It's like normal. And so I think we need to be more thoughtful around it because I think marriage is a beautiful thing, but I also just think it's a lot of people take it lightly because it's fun and they get to have a party and dress up and like take pictures. And that's not what it is. At least not to me. So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I do agree, but I will say on the one side, having been in a relationship for 12 years now, part of me is like we're basically a married couple.
You are.
And I'm not even concerned with it being legal. So yeah, to be honest, I do want a wedding for the fuck of it. Like, I know, like, to have a day where everyone that knows and loves us and has supported us through the 12, or it's probably going to be 13, it's probably going to be 15 years.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not, anyways, but, yeah, I do want a day. That's why I refuse to call it a wedding. I'm like, it's going to be called a celebration of love because that's what it is. So I do understand, like, but yes, I also am saying that coming from the standpoint of like whether it becomes a legal document or not. Like, I am wanting a day to celebrate.
Right. And I think that people should just
But it wouldn't
own
lead
that,
to
own
a
that.
divorce. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't lead a divorce because if it's not legal to begin with.
Right. Then own that and say we're just celebrating, but don't make it legal. I think also the legal part of it takes a lot of the romance out for me because then it's a contract and something about that just feels wrong. So I actually would prefer to just have the ring and a party. And I feel like the ring and the act of proposing and all of that is really more of it's like the ultimate romantic gesture. So I understand why it's so easy to get caught up and do it. But I feel like people should maybe just not sign on the dotted line. Just do the party, have the thing, do the thing, but don't sign that piece of paper because I don't know.
Like you don't need to become an officiant. Just stand up there. We're not going to use you as a witness anyways.
We're not actually signing anything here. This is just a party.
Just say nice things about us.
Okay? Yeah, exactly.
But going back to the separate bedroom thing, because I do want to talk about that. And now what the relevance to it being part of the divorce rate or not, I don't have an opinion on that. But I do have an opinion on just your quality of daily life. When you are with someone who is quite the opposite of you, for example, laid down at 8:41 last night, and I was asleep, according to my Apple Watch, at 9:01, like asleep. Okay. And I did not wake up until 5:45 this morning. Thankfully, Matt had a cold, so he had taken some NyQuil. I loaded him up with all this stuff. So he actually did sleep through the night for the first time basically ever. He is an insomniac. Okay. And I'm a very grumpy person when you wake me up. He knows if I fall asleep on the couch, leave me be. Don't tell me to move to the bed. I would rather sleep on the couch and wake up with a sore back than be woken up having to move my body physically to the bed. And now I can't go back to sleep. And now I'm more pissed because I'm awake and now I was woken up and now I'm stuck awake and it screws up my whole next day. I hate it. So from that standpoint, I mean, I would love to have separate. You can keep your room as messy as you want. You can sleep with your dog as much as you want.
Totally.
We'll link up, do the dirty deed, and then sleep peacefully in our respective beds. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be, and I've told him that. And the other night I was sleeping in the bed and he came in at midnight. I had again already been asleep for 3 hours. And he we have one of those big I don't know. It's not anyways, kind of a heavier, it's not a weighted blanket, but it's just a big, kind of thick blanket. And he thought I was cold. So he just dropped it on me. And so his was I was giving you a blanket. I thought you were cold. I'm maybe gently lay it across me. You don't just drop 5 pounds of weight on me in the middle of my sleep. So when he did that, I was oh God, why are you always ruining my sleep? And he's oh. But the point is because I have been telling him, God, I wish we had a third bedroom. What I would do for my own sleep zone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here for it. And we have friends actually that are married, that have been together forever. They're married. They have 3 kids. They have been doing the separate bedroom thing for years. And they're our marriage has never been better. They will swear by it. It's the best thing they ever did was get 2 different rooms.
Yeah, I believe it. And I think that we should normalize that more because it shouldn't be this taboo thing where if you have separate rooms, then you must not be happy or whatever. I think it's actually the opposite. If you're doing things like that, then that's doing the work to ensure longevity and happiness because everybody needs to first meet their personal needs to be happy. And then you can meet the relationship needs. But if you're not happy as individuals, you're not going to be happy in the relationship. So I find it to be a good step in making it last. And so I'm all about separate bedrooms. I think that that's ideal. And plus, I always have more shit than the guy does anyway, so I need a big
Yeah.
closet and my own pooper, and
You're like, I'll take the master. I'll take
Yeah.
the master. You can have the room downstairs.
yeah, exactly. What do you think, Josh? You have experience
Yeah,
with
where's
this, so
producer Josh?
I am totally for it now. If you don't have sleep compatibility, if there's things like with
Right.
Alyssa with the dog and Matt being an insomniac and you not liking to be woke up, and so if both people are like the same type of sleeper, then there's no issue. Like you're good.
Mhm.
But if there's anywhere in there where one person's like, this sucks, it's just easier to have a separate bed or sleep elsewhere if possible, because you're just sleeping. Like that's all it is. There's
Yeah.
no like, oh, I love you less because whatever, you sleep in another room. So I think, yeah, it definitely should be normalized.
yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Well, good.
speaking of
think-
dreams, sorry, this is just like nothing about the topics, but I don't know why, but so I dream a lot, like pretty vividly, but I dream about celebrities, like I'm there for like celebrities I like. They just show up in my dream all the time. Like we are homies. Like last night, I mean, the amount of times I dream about Kristen Bell being my friend, it's absurd. It is an absurd, like she's my homegirl, best friend for life in my dreams all the time. I've had a crazy dream. We don't have to like spend too much time on it, but I had a weird dream about Jake and Gareth. I like ran into them at O'Hara's pub. So this morning I woke up from my Kristen Bell dream and I thought, this can't be everybody. I don't know why I dream about celebrities so much, but it's a lot. Like it's a lot. But anyways.
That's funny. I don't have a lot of celebrities in my dream. I dream about people I know. Or usually it's like an amalgamation of people. So it's like somebody I've never seen before, but I knew them and they look familiar, or or it's like the person is, for example, let's say it was you, but it wasn't you. It was a different face, but it was you in the dream.
It's like we were at our house, but it wasn't our house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of that. I have a lot of dreams like every night. So I guess that means I'm hitting my stages good.
Well, according to my my watch, I hit it exactly how you're supposed to. Those REMs, deep core. Yeah.
Nice. I was
Right,
going to
well-
say, so I know we normally have Josh close out with a dad joke, but based on what we talked about today, I would like to do the dad joke if that's okay, because this is actually something that my son told me 2 days ago, and I was laughing because he's 8. But so coming from him, it was just funny, and he said it with such like humor behind it, like he fully understood what he was saying, and so that was even funnier about it. But anyways, he said, oh God, and I'm gonna butcher it, but it was something like,
well, if you butcher it, Josh gets to do his.
there's three rings of marriage: the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. Oh man.
I feel like he could have gotten that from our stepdad, Justin.
No.
It sounds like a joke Justin would say.
Actually, I think he heard it on YouTube or something. I don't know. He watches like Mr. Beast and all the Unspeakable, and he comes up with the craziest shit from those shows.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But it was a good
That's
one,
good.
and it was appropriate
good.
for the topic today.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right.
Love you.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Chat in the Hat is hosted by Alyssa Stiles and Adriana Marquez. It is produced by me, Joshua Stiles. You can find us on Instagram at Chat in the Hat Pod and wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.